Hey, this is Trey from the Conversation Havers podcast, and this episode is brought to you by Revital U. They're a coffee company that helps you suppress your appetite, give you a clear, focused state of mind, and lots of energy. I've actually tried it, and I can honestly say I've noticed a difference in how I've felt. So whether you're trying to lose some weight before summer starts or you just work a lot, Revital U can really help you out. If you want to request a free sample, you can hit up zacharyfeeney.revitalU.com, and that's Feeney. For any other questions, you can hit up Zach at 713-898-2355 or zacharyfeeney23@gmail.com.
Hey, what's up? Welcome to the 6th episode of the Conversation Havers podcast. My name is Collin.
My name's Trey.
Yeah.
We're already on the 6th episode.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Damn, that's like almost 7.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're not wrong.
I mean, and 7's going to be our lucky number, so I think episode 7's going to go dummy.
Episode 7, all right.
Shit's going to go stupid.
Well, here for episode 6... we have,
we watched a movie.
Can you call it that?
I think technically it is a movie.
Yeah.
It is a movie, but it's probably my least favorite movie I've ever seen. It kind of pissed me off a lot.
I was in physical pain.
Physical?
Physical
Not
pain.
mental?
Like, my head hurt watching that movie.
Okay, I guess that is physical.
Yeah.
So it's directed by a guy named Uwe Boll.
Is it Uwe or Uwe?
I've heard Uwe.
Yeah.
And he's a very famous director. He's known for being just terrible.
Yeah.
He's made some of the worst movies ever.
Not in like a good, enjoyable way either. Like it's not like The Room or Troll 2 or like any of those movies where you can watch ironically.
His movies have less soul.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like Tommy Wiseau didn't know anything and he was trying to make The Room as a passion project.
Yeah.
I don't know how much passion Uwe Boll puts into his movies. He just seems kind of like an amateur that wants to like... I don't know, because... He was doing some type of loophole through the German government, like tax system, to fund his movies.
Yeah, so like he was not actually getting like funding.
Yeah, like it wasn't studios funding him; it was him using some type of loophole. But like, don't ask me any more on that because I really don't know. That's just what I've heard. But financing. There we go.
Financing. So, Boll's films have often performed poorly at the box office in the United States and around the world. House of the Dead, which was budgeted at $12 million, made $5.73 million in opening weekend. You know, that's actually better than I expected.
5.7 million?
Yeah. Alone in the Dark, which was budgeted at $20 million.
That's what we were originally going to watch.
Yeah, we couldn't find a good quality.
Yeah, we just went on YouTube. Like, we weren't finna go any farther than that to find one of his movies.
Yeah.
But I think we found something worse, or easily worse. But I
can't imagine that anything is worse than what we watched.
I've seen other people review... Because there's a whole genre on YouTube of people that review shitty movies. Like,
I saw the Nostalgia Critic review.
I fucking hate the Nostalgia Critic.
Really?
Yeah, he's a terrible person, and I always thought he was trash.
Is he just one of those, is he just an asshole?
There's a whole story about, like, I'll send you a video of a guy breaking it all down. Okay. But, like, his company, like, everything about... He's just a loser. Like, I don't fuck with him at all.
Yeah, you hear that, Nostalgia Critic? Like, go
fight
from our hearts. Like, just please.
I'd beat the shit out of it. Like, put me in the ring with him, I swear.
Yeah, I think in the video, it looked like he had on a fedora, which just, like, tells you what you need to know.
He usually wears some type of, like, beret cap type thing. I don't know what to call it.
Yeah.
But yeah, fuck that guy. But, like, a lot of people have reviewed Uwe Boll's films, and they're all pretty bad. I've seen Rampage, which is pretty much he glorifies mass shootings. Yeah. Like that the point of the movie is it's a guy He gets his coffee. Speaking of coffee, I'm drinking Starbucks for the first time ever.
We got these. We were both tired as hell and just mentally exhausted after watching this movie. So we were like, let's go get some Starbucks.
Much like a vampire, which there are vampires in the movie.
Yeah.
We still haven't even said what the movie was.
Should we say what the movie is yet?
Fuck it, yeah.
Alright, so the movie is called Blubberella.
Yeah, and you'd think it's like some type of Cinderella knockoff, but no, it's an Inglourious Bastards knockoff.
Yeah, it's Inglourious Bastards meets...
Meet the Spartans.
Meet the Spartans meets
Twilight?
Yeah, a little bit.
But also
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I guess. But just complete ass.
Yeah, just imagine the worst aspects of all of those movies. That's what it is.
I seriously do want people to go watch this because you can go find it on YouTube. It's only an hour. You don't have to watch the whole thing. Just watch the first couple minutes up to the point to where there's blackface involved.
There is a lot. There's too much. I mean, any blackface.
There's two scenes where people are dressed in blackface.
Any blackface is probably too much blackface.
I'd say so.
Unless you're Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, he gets away with it.
But other than that, yeah. So there are two scenes with blackface, and it's not good.
Yeah. So this movie, it I don't think it was written. It seems mostly improv. And what I was gonna say was, it's called Blubberella. So you'd think it's a Cinderella knockoff.
Yeah, you think it's just Fat Cinderella, which doesn't necessarily sound funny, but might have some sort of merit and market to it. Mm-hmm. But no, I don't even know why they bothered naming the film that.
Yeah, everything about this movie is wrong.
Yeah.
Everything. There was not a single moment of this movie that I even got a little bit of enjoyment out of. Maybe Vag.
Yeah.
The exaggerated gay character, some of the shit he said, because gay people are very funny whenever they're snappy as fuck and they're just roasting people. Yeah. That shit's fucking hilarious.
So, yeah.
And he does that.
Vag had there were really only two things that bared any semblance to comedic value. And the first one, a bit unfortunately, was the first blackface scene.
Yeah, the guy who plays Vag. So pretty much in the middle of the movie, first of all, to preface, there's no type of structure to this film. It's It's just scenes. No scenes are longer than 2 minutes, and it's all just slapstick nonsense. And that can be funny, I guess, but it's
it wasn't.
I can't fully articulate.
Let's just describe the opening scene of the film here, because it just starts with her this very, very... Oh, wait. Opening scene. So you see Blubberella for the first time, and she's in a skin-tight leather suit or something.
She has a leather jacket with a corset underneath.
Yeah, okay. So kind of the outfit she wears the whole movie.
No, she never changes outfits. Okay. Wait, no, there's one scene. But whatever.
And she's got two katanas.
Yeah, two giant-ass swords, and it's just her swinging them, and it's sped up.
It's not very, It doesn't look like they actually showed her what to do. They were just hey, fuck around with these swords for a minute.
And then it just kind of it'll go black screen and then show a name just of someone in the movie, and then cuts back to her. She's swinging her swords again, and then it cuts to the screen, shows another name, and then that happens for about under a minute, and then she walks away into an alley. And then
the actual beginning of the movie comes in.
Yeah, so that was the intro, and then...
I gotta say, during the intro, I thought that maybe there could be some comedic value to it. It wasn't funny. I at least saw the smallest inkling of potential of I might crack a smile once or twice during this movie.
I didn't know how to feel. Yeah. I just was watching this intro, and it's it gives you so little time to to like even process it. Like you just see that and you're like, okay, like this is a weird way to start the movie, and then it just cuts to her and she's in her apartment and it says 1940. It's like in the middle, or 1940s.
Yeah, it's supposed to be.
It's Nazi Germany.
Mid-World War II in Nazi Germany, yeah.
And she is half human, half vampire.
Except it only even like really, like they allude to her being a vampire, but the only time you really like hear about any sort of vampire ability. She
says she's 800 years old.
Yeah, that's it.
She never does anything a vampire does.
She doesn't have like fangs.
Yeah, nothing at all.
She's just kind of.
She wears red. And black.
She's a fat girl in a leather suit that eats a lot. Like it just opens up with her.
The fat jokes literally never stop.
They just pound them in. The first 5 minutes or whatever, however long that scene is just like constant. Just like she's just talking about like how fat she is, and then she goes. She doesn't have a closet. She has a meat locker.
Yeah, just meat.
She only has one fucking outfit, so why need a closet when you can just have endless supplies of like sausage
and just
like entire cows.
Yeah, no, she had like an entire leg. What do you call it? A damn mutton leg.
Yeah. There was something gray in there. I don't know what it was.
Man, she eating some fucking fucked up meat.
Yeah, no. But yeah, so she's just like going through that,
and she's narrating. She's
her
like,
day-to-day
"Hi,
life. Like
I'm Blubberella."
She says she's like, my friend told me that I just eat instead of have sex, but then he raped me, so that point is moot. And I was like, what?
Yeah,
like,
no.
Was that supposed to have comedic?
Yeah.
Like,
it's like
what?
It's seriously like I don't. No matter what we say on this podcast, you won't get the full picture. Like
it is impossible to explain how bad this movie is accurately.
Yeah, because like Uwe Boll, he made other films. Like I think Rampage is a better film than this in that it actually has scenes that take place in a world that is like happening. This is just nothing is anything. Like I don't.
Yeah.
It's 1940s, but she has a laptop and she's on Jewish Tinder.
Yeah, it's oh god.
And she's like swiping on these Jewish men, and then I think it cuts to her. She's standing in front of a Nazi and he's eating a sandwich.
She keeps like holding out her hand like
like give me the
sandwich, and he like gives her a high five.
No, you can't have my sandwich.
Yeah.
And then she stabs him.
She stabs him through the heart and just takes his sandwich and leaves.
Awesome, like amazing. And then it cuts to what you could call an action scene, but like,
could you call that an action scene?
It's something we would have shot. Like when we were
it looks like some sort of like fight scene you'd see what we would have made like in a sketch
in like 11 years old, like
our 8th grade level was above that, like 5th or 6th grade.
But so then pretty much they kill a bunch of Nazis, and then they open up a train car and there's a bunch of Jews in the train.
This is the only time I've realized this just now. It's the only time you see any Jews in the movie.
I guess so.
Like,
it's
the only time that there's any like, oh hey, we're actually like fighting for something in the entire movie. Like,
there's nothing that like none of like. It's hard to explain, but nothing in this movie means anything. And I mean that like spoof movies, I personally I can't even think of any spoof movies that I actually enjoy.
There are at least spoof movies that have funny moments though. Like I don't actually enjoy like the one I keep using is Meet the Spartans. I don't necessarily enjoy watching that movie. I don't think it's a good movie, obviously, but there are funny parts.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
And I don't think I like ever will watch it.
Yeah, like they're bad movies, but at least there are parts that I will like laugh at. This had none of that, like at all.
What's crazy is I think Uwe Boll, and he's known to be a dude that he does not like criticism. Like he made all these movies and people were like, your movies are trash. Yeah. And so he pretty much or not threatened, but he asked everyone that's like reviewed his movies badly. He's like, yeah, come box me, and he'll literally go in the ring and box you.
Yeah, he'll box them. He calls himself the Raging Bull.
Yeah, named after one of the best movies of all time. Yeah. But he's one of the worst.
That's probably the funniest thing he's ever done right there.
I think his whole career is funny, like, and I think my thoughts on this movie are funny, but like the movie itself is just a chore.
Oh,
like
yeah.
It was okay, much like a vampire. I don't know if I said this, but it was sucking the energy out of me. I was feeling fine. We started watching it, and I started losing energy. I felt like I was about to pass out.
That is why we had to go get coffee, because both of us were just. I was exhausted at the end of watching it. Like, it took all my effort and energy to actually like coherently like percept this movie. Like, it is pretty short though. So like, we watched some type of bootleg. We watched it on YouTube, a bootleg YouTube version. So it was like slightly sped up to avoid copyright.
And it's like in a smaller window, in the frame, and then there's like stars swirling around it just so they don't get copyrighted. But like once you like get focused on the movie, you don't even like notice the stars.
Oh yeah, no, that's not a problem. No, so it was like not even 20 minutes shorter than it was supposed to be. So it was like at like 1.25 times regular speed. So it wasn't like we could still tell what was happening. Everything was just a little fast, which I'm grateful for, because if I had to watch that for another 20 minutes, I would have lost my shit.
I seriously think I would have passed out or something. Like, we would have had to pause it, go get coffee, and then start back up. But let's see. Okay, after they save the Jews, I think...
Well, no, they don't save the Jews.
They lock them back up in the train.
They're just like, oh yeah, these are Jews. All right, like, I don't want to save them anymore.
They like open up the door, you see it's a bunch of Jews, and then they close it again and then lock the door.
Vag, the gay character, Vag calls them butterfaces.
Yeah, he's
and then he closes the door. Like, I'm not laughing because that's funny. I'm laughing because the amount of fucking that actually fucking happens.
It is. I feel like they were trying to go for offensive, but it's like offensive in a way that just seems like a child's version of being offensive.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
No, like there was like one scene where she was. We'll get to it later a little bit, but like she was about to like fuck Hitler.
Yeah, she was getting down. Oh, which was played by Uwe Boll.
Yeah,
he played Hitler,
which is fitting.
Yeah, and he's German, so like I think that's illegal. You're not even allowed to like talk about that shit.
Yeah, it was probably filmed in like not Germany. I saw he lived in Canada now, so like.
My name is Uwe Boll. I can play Hitler if I want.
Yeah, he
come box me.
He's probably fucking exiled from the German government because of his whole like tax sheltering scheme or whatever that got him.
Fucking suck, bro.
To fund his movies, like.
The German prime minister is like.
Angela Merkel was just like, fucking leave, like, please.
Jeez.
Oh, God.
But, so then at some point, I'm trying to think of the events in which they occurred, but there's one part where they're walking through the snow, and then it cuts to, it's pretty much just cuts to the good guys, they do something stupid, then it cuts to the Nazis, and they just kind of talk, and then do something stupid, and then it cuts back to them, and all of these scenes are less than 2 minutes.
Yeah. And in, like... The reason I think they were trying to like parody or go for Inglourious Bastards was because they like separated it into like chapters.
Yeah, no, it's like chapter.
But there was like nothing defining these chapters.
Yeah,
like even like
in the middle of a scene, it cuts into the next chapter.
Yeah,
they're like chapter 10.
Like Vilfs, vampires. I'd like to fuck.
Wow.
Or titty.
Titty Fang Bang.
Yeah.
That's the name of one of the chapters.
Like...
Do you think that has any sort of significance to anything? No, they just... Like, Uwe Boll was like, ah, ha ha, if I said titty, like, ha 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 ha.
Fang because it's a vampire.
He said, fucking box me.
Yeah.
You think my movie is shit? I'd like to see you try better.
Here's the thing. I get really upset when people are like, oh man, like, are you a movie critic? Like... Do you have the right to like talk about this? And it's like, you don't have to be a chef to tell somebody their food tastes like shit. Like,
yeah.
So the fact that people get mad at critics or at like fans who don't like something, always kind of like.
I, as a mega Uwe Boll fan, was very disappointed by this film.
But like, no, that's like I like Eminem, but one of his like weaker things that he's done is like just always go after people that don't like his music. And he's like, who are you to say that like you don't like my music? And it's like somebody that just has a basic opinion.
He's definitely one of the most technically gifted rappers, but I don't like Eminem.
I like Eminem a lot, actually.
To be fair, I haven't listened to a ton of his shit, but like from what I've heard, it's just like I like Stan. Stan's good.
There was like a 6-year period like between the early 2000s and then Recovery in 2010 where it wasn't like that as good as usual, and then he like from like 2010 like Recovery, and then I think it was like the Marshall Mathers EP2 where it had like Berserk and Rap God, where it was like pretty good again, and then very, very bad like a Revival.
Oh yeah, Revival.
That was very much trash, and then I liked Kamikaze.
I see, like, I would try to give an opinion, but I didn't listen to any of those.
Anthony Fantano fucking tore into Kamikaze. Like, I was like, I think this is a pretty good Eminem album. And he was like, this is the most absolute shit album I have ever heard in my life. I was like, all right.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't agree with everything he says.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shit. I don't know. But anyways, back to Blubberella. We always talk about rap and shit. But, so then there's some point in the movie where they're like, it cuts back from the Nazis and she is just face first laying in her bed, and then it like it insinuates that she's in a dream, and it just is Precious. Like if you've ever seen the movie Precious, about the overweight, African American girl. And she has a bunch of struggles. It's actually a pretty fucking impactful movie. Like, it's pretty intense. Yeah. But
they just parody that, and you've got a dude in blackface who's actually played by the same actor who plays Vag.
Yeah. And he pretty much just calls her a bitch a lot as she's trying to cook whatever the fuck was in that pan.
It was like meat, but it was surrounded by something like
grease.
I don't know. That scene
I could smell that scene.
That was one of the only two like real parts that brought any comedic value.
Yeah, just for the fact, because it like up until that point it was like in the realm of the movie, and then it just came out of nowhere. Like I saw a dude in blackface, and I realized they were just spoofing Precious, and I was like,
he calls her like they're not even subtle. He calls her Precious like 10 times.
And she's just like, Mama, I'm cooking. It'll be ready when it's ready. And then I think she gets out, and then she throws shit at her.
She like throws like meat at her, and Blubberella is trying to eat the meat
as it's being thrown at her.
Yeah.
And then that's the whole movie. Every single scene, she's got a bowl of popcorn, or
she's just always just being fat.
Yeah. Every single character in the movie is like, oh, you're fat. Yeah, like some.
And then she's like, I'm fat.
Yeah, she loves. I don't know. God, this movie's trash.
Yeah, no, like I was talking about it, and it's like, what do you have to, as an actor, like, how do you accept that role?
Do you have any shame?
Yeah, like I can get it if it's like there's some movies like a lot of like Melissa McCarthy movies or like Rebel Wilson where like a joke is that they're fat, but that's not like the entire movie. Okay, there's one that I could think of that it is, but like for the most part, like that's just within the character that they play, and they still have like other moments where it's not just other like, look at how fat I am.
Well, she's also very horny. Yeah, like Blubberella is trying to fuck.
Yeah,
a lot of
they stick two
rolling pins
where the sun don't shine.
Yeah, they penetrate her with. Yeah, she goes into a brothel and like she belly bounces a Nazi into a wall
and then tears his balls off.
Yeah, and then rips his nuts off, and then I guess that's mildly vampiric. Like, that's because vampires have strength. I guess that's like the only vampire
I still feel
thing.
like it was more of like a fat thing than a vampire thing.
I guess so. She grabs another dude's nuts. Her main love interest, who is also gay because Vag is sucking his dick at one point, and then
it's
so confusing. Like,
it's just the most basic like toilet humor. Like,
yeah.
It sounds like a fourth grader that just found out about sex. That's like, we're gonna make all these like jokes about sex. Ho, ho, ho,
And the
ho,
main character is gonna be fat. Oh shit.
Like,
yeah. And then so one of the Nazis, like pretty much the main bad guy Nazi, is
also
a vampire.
Yeah.
But you see him in open daylight.
He's not a vampire, and then just for no reason, all of a sudden he is a vampire.
Yeah, he just kind of says in a scene, he's like, I'm a vampire. And then the Nazi's like, well, I don't... Or he's talking to like one of his lieutenants or whatever.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I don't want to be a vampire. And he's like, oh, it won't take that long. And he's like, no, I don't want to. And then it just does a super sped up shot of him jumping on top of him.
Biting him.
And then the guy's a vampire now. And he's like, oh, you bit me.
Then he almost jumps out of a window.
Yeah, he's like, I feel like I can fly. And he's like, don't do that. Can we look up the plot synopsis if there is one? Oh, yeah, wow.
That's right. I already have it up. I'm already on that. Blubberella is a plus-sized vampire-human hybrid with the hatred of Hitler and a soft spot for candy. She like almost fucks Hitler.
Well,
like,
she has a dream that... Okay, it just kind of... You don't know it's in a dream for a little bit.
Yeah, you don't know it's in a dream until she wakes up.
Yeah, and then Hitler is just in there. Oh, yeah, spoilers, by the way. Full spoilers. I know this is a very anticipated movie. A lot of people are going to be like, bro, you fucking spoiled it. What the fuck?
Yeah.
We got to have a spoiler warning.
She's been fighting the forces of evil for centuries when she comes face to face with the dictator who has plunged all of Europe straight into a hellish war. However, in the midst of sending Hitler to meet his maker, she instead accidentally grants him the gift of immortality. Now a supervillain with an army of undead SS officers to do his evil bidding. Destroying him won't be easy, but if there's one hero big enough to defeat the fiercest army to ever walk the earth, it's Blubberella.
None of that is true.
Yeah, they don't ever imply that she gave Hitler immortality.
I don't... she talks to him about... She's like, well, what... She's like, what about your feelings? Like, if you go along with this ethnic cleansing, like, people aren't gonna like you. And he's like, wow, maybe you're right. And then she tries to, like, give a therapy session to Hitler, and then she wakes up, and then it's like, okay, that was a dream. She never met Hitler.
This is part of the plot synopsis, but never once do you hear them reference the fact that Hitler is, like, immortal.
No, the main bad guy of the real film, or like what's actually happening, is like that one Nazi vampire.
Maybe the plot synopsis like confused Hitler with whoever that was. Mm-hmm. Because that sure as hell wasn't supposed to be Hitler.
Yeah.
He was just kind of like a high-ranking Nazi.
Yeah, he's just a general.
Because like I said, you see Hitler at one point, and it's not like...
And it's a dream. Like, that's the only time you see him.
Yeah, it's Uwe Boll. It's not whoever that actor was. But, yeah, I mean, I looked into some of these people's, like, Wikipedia pages and stuff like that. And... The chick who plays Blubberella, Lindsay Hollister, that's like the only role she does is like just obnoxious fat person.
I'm fat.
Laugh at me. Like, she was in a movie called Breaking Fat that is like a ripoff of Breaking Bad, I guess.
What in the fuck? Is she just cooking fucking
fried chicken?
Yeah.
It all just takes place at Los Pollos Hermanos.
Oh shit. Dude, it's a prequel. She's just working there.
She just eats chicken.
Oh my god, from a different perspective.
And you just see
Walt walk in.
Yeah, you see Walter White walk in occasionally, and like occasionally like it shows her getting hired by Gus.
Damn. So what do you think about that Jesse movie that they're making? I know this is like off topic.
Oh God, I don't know. I haven't seen much from it.
He's gonna be on the run. Like, I wonder if he's just gonna go get Brock.
I'm very glad they're making it though.
If it's good, I'll be happy.
Yeah.
Which it's Vince Gilligan, so like I'm pretty sure it'll be good.
Because like, like leaving it open ended is good. Like I don't mind like having.
Spoilers for Breaking Bad. If we're gonna talk about it.
Yeah, we haven't really spoiled anything yet.
I know. But
spoilers for Breaking Bad starting now.
Walter dies at the very end.
But it doesn't even say that he necessarily dies.
That was a large pool of blood.
Yeah, it very much implies that he dies. And like he's already got like...
If he comes back to life in this movie that they're making, I won't be happy. Like,
I think that they'll reveal something about his fate. Whether that's that he's just dead.
That's good. If they do that, I'll be like, cool.
Or like... Maybe it shows the immediate aftermath and they like pick... Either way, he's in jail and he's gonna fucking die, even if he's not dead. Like,
I guess so. I hope he's dead. That, like, he has to. Like, he redeemed himself. Let the man fucking die. Or sort of redeemed himself. Like, I think he did one last good deed and then after doing a lot of terrible shit.
A lot of, like, Breaking Bad is just, like, seeing how much, like, you can like this very... piece of shit character.
Well, it's like everything switches. Like you meet Jesse and you're like, look at this fucking degenerate, and then
and Walt is like,
Jesse is the protagonist of the whole show.
Walt is just like, I'm doing whatever I have to like make sure my family can like live on. That's
what he says.
Yeah, and it's at first like what he's doing, like for the first season or whatever.
I think all of it comes from an underlying like. There's tons of videos that psychoanalyze Walter White. But I tend to agree with the statement that he he feels like the world, he never really was a man, like gray matter, all of that, like he wasn't involved.
The thought of that always pisses me off. It's like, imagine selling your shares in $1 billion company for what it was like $6,000.
I guess so. I don't remember all the details, but...
Yeah, and then... Oh, God. Like, could you imagine?
Yeah. And, fuck, man. If I had really helped start that company... Man, that's the thing. If I ever meet Bill Gates in the street, I'm gonna be like, look, can you give me just, like, $100K? That's nothing. That's, like, a penny to you.
Yeah.
Just help a brother out. Like, I just...
The thought of that, like... And even that, like, his business partners are like, or former business partners are like super cool with him. Like, even though he left the company, they're like, we will pay for your cancer treatment. Like,
but his pride,
it's
like, no,
it's not that you
I have
can
to
blame.
Cook meth.
Like, it's not that you can blame him because like my pride would be wounded as shit too. Like,
if I had some billionaires that were like, yo, you don't have to cook meth and get involved in this like downward spiral. Yeah. Which if he didn't know, it would be
it's still like...
Fuck my pride. You gonna pay for my cancer treatment?
But I will say the very end, like when he has the big ass stack of money and he comes up to them and he has
the two snipers
with the laser pointers and he's like, this was all fucking me. Like I did this. Yeah. You will say it's a donation. This is mine. Like,
God, at some point I need to rewatch that show.
That moment, even though that's a super gratifying moment, even though like Walter White's a complete piece of shit.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's like he goes full Batman, like in the last episode, like old man Batman. Yeah. Not a lot of like physical action, but it's like the mental planning. I don't know. Meth Batman.
Anyways, back to like Blubberella.
Yeah, a little sidetrack. We always get sidetracked.
Yeah, man.
It's okay though.
But where did we leave off? So Blubberella, she has like this wet dream about Hitler.
Was it a wet dream? I guess I wasn't paying attention.
Well, it wasn't a wet dream, but it was like
she was like being a therapist, sort of.
She was also
was it sexual?
She was flirting him up.
Was she?
Like, she was, like, on him in the meat locker, like...
Yeah, and what the thing is, so she's helping out a Nazi resistance that's, like, trying to stop the Nazis.
Yeah.
And she, like, they just know where she lives. Like, one of the Nazis just walks up to her house, and after he gets bitten by the general, and he's a vampire and all that.
Yeah.
And then he just walks in, and it's like, the thing is, the movie, they try to play it off where it's like, there's multiple times where, like, Vag is like, well, the script says we need to go here in the next scene.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not taking itself seriously, but, like, it's also...
It's not even doing a good job of not taking itself seriously.
It's just not enjoyable at all. Like, Deadpool can kind of... When every single character in the movie is just a nothing spoof fucking idiot. Yeah, it's just like every character is a joke. Nothing means anything. And when it's shot this bad and edited this bad, and
this straight up looks like it was made on Windows Movie Maker.
Which, I mean, we can't hate on. We saw in that Windows Movie
Okay,
Maker
but
shit.
we were like...
We some cheapskates.
No, I have like... I edit these with like legit programming and stuff now.
Legit?
Yeah, like legit, dude.
Legit!
I paid like $65 for this editing program.
Fuck.
Yeah. Anyways, but like they made like even the transitions or like the standard transitions on Windows Movie Maker.
Yeah, there's multiple times where it just fades to black for no reason.
And then it's just it's very simple. It's like Helvetica font on a black screen.
And it's like, I'm pretty sure it skipped some chapters too.
Yeah, no, it would be like chapter 5, and then like 5 minutes later it'd be like chapter 8.
I saw it go from 5 to 8.
And then from 8 to 10.
Yeah, so I think we watched a shitty...
We could have. I still think the time adds up, but maybe it skipped over some of the chapter transitions.
There is no real story to this, but the scenes, like, they do say things that lead in directly into the next scene.
Yeah.
And, like, that was consistent through the movie, so that's why I think we watched the full thing. Mm-hmm. That was just a little bit
there was one time I even turned to you and was like, holy shit, we're actually getting, like, some plot here. Because they were talking about, like, the villains wanted to, like, kidnap Blubberella.
And they do that.
Yeah, they do that.
But, of course, nothing comes of it. Whenever they actually capture her, they just have her legs in a rope, and the Nazi scientist...
Yeah, it's a whole fat joke. Like, he's like, I can't lift you up.
And she's like, yeah, you're gonna regret this.
Put your back into it.
It's like...
She's
fat.
So degrading.
She's fat.
That's just so degrading as an actress. Like...
She really did. She was into it. Like, she seemed... And it seems like multiple films are all about her being fat, so it's like...
I just don't get how you would do... Like, I'd lose my shit. Like, you know, I'm a bigger guy myself. I'm not that big, but, like... Yeah. It's still, like... How many times can you just play off of the same, like, fact that, like, you're a fat piece of shit for, like, every movie? Like... If you're getting paid, I'm sure she's, like, gotten paid throughout her movie career, which, like, good for her, like, get your money, but, like... Yeah.
I'd like to know how much she got paid for this.
I guarantee... I would have to get, like, super fucking paid to be able to do something like that.
Well, the budget was $5 million, so I doubt, like...
But I don't... Besides, like, you were saying, like, the set, like... The set was probably the most legitimate part of the movie.
Yeah, it looked like they were shooting in some legit locations, like actual forests and shit that...
Yeah.
And, like, there was one shot where the interior... It's like the Nazi and one of the scientists and one of the Nazis are just walking down a hallway. And, like, the building they were in, I was like, this actually looks like a Nazi, like, outpost. Yeah. Like, so it's like some of the sets do look okay.
Yeah.
But it's like... That's about it.
Yeah, that's it. It's not like... It wasn't obviously green... Nothing was obviously green screened, which kind of surprised me.
I don't even really think I saw any green screen. Like, it looked like it was all
Uwe Boll's a big fan of practical effects.
He said, whenever I watched the original Star Wars, I saw C-3PO, and I was so inspired. I saw Jurassic Park.
But... Yeah, because I feel like a lot of these like B movie this isn't even this is like a Z movie. Like I can't even classify this as a B movie.
I think B movies are specifically like monster movies. Sort of. They're not.
This plays into that same trope a little bit though.
You think it is, but then it just turns out to be like there's so little action or anything. Like from the poster that we're looking at right now, she's shooting two guns and there's explosions and fire and Nazis and it's like this looks way.
You don't even you see her shoot a gun like once in the whole movie.
At the very end.
At the very end. She like takes this dude's gun and like kills like two Nazis.
It literally it's like, and now a sneak peek of Blubberella 2, A Very Blubberella Christmas.
Which wasn't an actual movie. Was it an actual movie?
Yeah, please check.
Oh wait, hold up. I've got to go to Uwe Boll's like filmography.
Well, just look it up, Blubberella 2.
Well, he's got his entire filmography here.
Oh, shit. So, let's see.
Blubberella.
I have a question.
Yeah, no, there was not another Blubberella.
Okay, yeah, that was just a joke then.
Yeah.
2016? Damn, he hasn't come out with a movie in 3 years.
I think he said he retired.
Good. His filmography is already too large.
German fried movie. His first movie.
German fried movie.
And his last movie, Rampage, President Down. Which the main character of Rampage is actually one of the main characters of this movie.
Yeah, the actor.
Yeah, he's like Blubberella's like.
Well, what's crazy about Rampage is that I don't understand what those movies are really about, because like the first one, the guy gets coffee spilt on him and then he does push-ups a bunch. He buys a bunch of riot gear, buys guns, and literally just shoots up a small town and like kills a bunch of innocent people.
Yeah.
And then the next movie, he's like a celebrity and there's tons of fans and like social media.
Which actually like is something that happens to like...
There are sick people that are like that.
Well, like I know for a fact with at least the Parkland shooter and I think the Santa Fe shooter too.
There's like fans.
Like they get fan mail.
Yeah, no, I know that, but in that movie, it's like literally thousands of people are watching him like Twitch stream him shooting up another place, and it's like, and they're all like,
the second one.
Yeah, and it's like, what?
I do think that's like a legitimate thing, though. I think that like
not on the level that movie was. It's like a bunch of normal people on their phones, like, hell yeah, go, dude.
Also, the fact that like the U.S. military cannot stop like this one
dude,
guy, like,
one dude, like they would have sniped his ass, like very quick.
And it's not supposed. It's
Rampage is a whole nother monster. It's a trilogy. It's a whole ass trilogy.
It's more watchable than Blubberella, though.
Yeah, I guess if you're down to just watch a mass shooting, 3 mass shootings. He goes against the White House too. Like apparently, I don't know what happens in the third one, but it's called White House Down or President Down. So I guess he kills the president, which is like the White House is one of the most fortified buildings on the planet. Like you can't just.
I don't know, man. You see Olympus Has Fallen?
Damn, you right.
Apparently, that's a trilogy too.
What?
Yeah, it was Olympus Has Fallen, and like then London Has Fallen, and then there was a third one that's either just came out or is about to come out.
It's kind of like Die Hard, sort of, because it's like a normal guy. There was 2 copycat movies. There was the one with Jamie Foxx as the president and Channing Tatum.
What was that one called? It was like a
White House Down?
White House Down.
Yeah, I actually watched that one.
The exact same thing as Olympus Has Fallen.
Oh, yeah.
Like, exact same
White House gets attacked.
And they came out at the same time.
Yeah, no, it's like that. There's all sorts of copycat movies. I'm trying to think of some other ones.
Well, there's a long history of, like, I think there were 3 of them, like, A Bug's Life, Ants, and I think there was a third one that played off like that same concept, basically.
Fuck. I don't even want to know what that movie is. I really don't.
Yeah.
But yeah, what's also interesting about Uwe Boll is like video game movies have a perception that they're all bad, and it's mostly because of him, because he's done a lot of
Has he really?
yeah, he did Rampage isn't one, but let's see, Far Cry.
He did
Yeah.
I did not know
Blood
that
Rain.
he directed the Far Cry movie. Oh my God.
House of the Dead. Backwoods. I'm kind of down to watch Backwoods.
It's Blackwoods, not Backwoods.
Oh, Blackwood. Fuck.
Plays
Listen,
off
the computer screen's far away.
He does like his racism and homophobia.
Yeah.
They just constantly call vag like
The
a
F
fag.
word.
Yeah.
Bro, did you just say the fucking
Okay,
F
I'm
word?
saying it in reference. I'm not like calling somebody that, but like that's legit. Like all the time, they just say that. Like
Yeah. But like he's probably my favorite character in the movie. Like
he's the only character that brings anything watchable.
and like I didn't even like him.
Yeah,
but
no.
he was still my favorite.
Still
character.
an awful character. It's just like there are like 2 or 3 times where like you might like the mind-numbing pain goes away.
I couldn't even get into the movie enough to be numbed or have any type of effect. It was just kind of like it was happening and I was just like I don't know. It's like some movies you can get into. I couldn't get into this one.
I'm still like surprised. Like Far Cry. I did not know he directed the Far Cry movie.
Yeah, I can guarantee you it's just a generic like action island movie. He's on an island just shooting fools.
He's worked with some
big name actors.
Yeah, well, like not huge names, but some.
He's probably like blackmailed them or something.
Yeah.
You have to be in my movie.
God, I cannot imagine just
being in an Uwe Boll film.
Yeah, like
I think
working with that man.
Yeah, he seems like from all the interviews and stuff, he seems very childish. Oh, Postal's another video game movie. Which Postal's also about just murdering people.
This one, Darfur.
He's also called one.
Actually, won an award.
Darfur.
It's it won Best International Film at a film festival.
Yeah, no, there's some of his films that have had some acclaim. And I haven't seen most of his films. I've seen like most of House of the Dead and then Rampage and now Blubberella. I think that's all I've seen.
Oh, okay. I've actually heard of...
Ooh, Billy Zane's in this?
Yeah, I've heard
Billy Zane, hella underrated.
I've heard of one of these people. Do you actually know who Billy Zane is?
Yeah, he's an actor. He's the bald guy.
Oh, okay. I've seen
He played the Phantom. Which I haven't seen, but I just like...
David O'Hara. I feel like I've heard of David O'Hara before. Maybe I haven't. He's got a blank Wikipedia page.
Let's see. He was in Darfur. That's all you really got to know. Cowboys and Aliens.
Oh, with Daniel Craig.
Whole Lot of Soul. Contraband.
Cold Pursuit.
Cold Pursuit sounds like a badass movie. And
it got ruined by Liam Neeson.
Wait.
Because that's the one with Liam Neeson in it, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because he admitted to like.
Yeah, I was like trying to figure that out the other day. What the fuck was he saying?
Basically, he was in an interview.
He got cheated on.
No, what happened was he was in an interview with like this reporter, and they were like, you know, you always play like this dark, gritty character, like out for revenge. Like, do you have any actual inspiration from that? Mm-hmm. And he said, "Oh God."
From what I heard he said that he like a black man
raped one of his friends. Like literally, it was like 40.
I thought it was his wife.
No. It was like 40, 50 years ago. Like, it was a very long time ago. Like, he was pretty young.
And then he waited at a bar and he was going to kill...
He went to a black neighborhood and said he just basically waited for, like, a black guy to start some shit so he could kill him.
And that's like something he just admitted to?
Yeah, like he openly admitted that. But the whole time he was like, you know, like I see like how awful of a thing that was. Like I don't know why I was like that, but like that is like a time where he was like, that was a time of my life where I was just very mad. Like, and you know, you can justify being mad because your friend got raped. Like,
but
that's a very just reason to be mad. But it was just the way you act on that is not like
murdering. Like you just want to go murder a random person.
Guy.
Like
yeah.
I think that sounds.
And so
fucking crazy.
People were pretty rightfully like, "Hey, Liam, what the fuck?" Like,
yeah, no, I heard something about that, and then I was just like, "Damn, this man Liam Neeson just wilding the fuck out." Like,
and then here's the thing: I don't know if it necessarily like. I don't know if the movie got like canceled or anything like that. I know. Like,
I mean, they made the movie. They have to release it.
The world premiere got like put off, like
just because of him saying that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie. If you're an actor, that's just something. It's better off you just never say.
Yeah, I just don't. Yeah, that's the other thing. I don't get why he would have said that.
It's like just
or at least say just
that,
person. Don't even say black person. Like. Because the rate... Okay, here's
it would have been bad either way.
It would have been bad either way, but I don't think there would have been the backlash that there was if he would have just, like, not mentioned the person's race.
Yeah.
Like,
you just gotta...
It still would have been like, hey, Liam, what the fuck? But, like, the fact that
it definitely wouldn't have been as big of a thing.
Yeah, it's not murder anymore. It's racist murder. That's the part where it's
crime.
Like... Yeah, like, that would have been a hate crime.
The word hate crime is kind of confusing because it's like, I feel like if there's anyone you're plotting on murdering, no matter what the race, like you kind of gotta hate them motherfuckers.
Yeah, I think it's when you plot on murdering somebody because of their race. Which within that he was going to murder a black, like specifically a black man because he knew that a black person raped his friend.
That's, man, that...
And he like went so on this big like apology tour.
Apology too.
I mean, that's what else
he sold out the Apollo Theater. He's like, I'm sorry.
But like he was on like Good Morning America and a few other things, and he like explained that everyone else was like you're good, but like what the fuck, like.
I mean, at least he didn't murder anyone.
Yeah, like he said good. That he like snapped himself out of it, and then there was that one headline where I think it was Gina Rodriguez.
Who's that?
She's in Fast and Furious. And
okay.
She was like...
She plays the badass Mexican girl.
Yeah.
And that's her role in every movie.
She was like, badass. He's not racist. Did you see like how hard he was tongue kissing this other like Viola Davis? I think. Like they were in a movie together, and she was like, "Did you see how hard he was tongue kissing this woman? Like." This black woman, like you don't do that to somebody that you hate. It's like
if you are a legit racist, then I don't think you would kiss a black girl. So like that that does kind of make
might
sense.
Have merit, but also like that's a really stupid
stupid thing to say. Stupid thing to say. But it is funny.
I don't think Liam Neeson is racist. I think in that moment he was more overcome with just I'm fucking pissed than I hate black people. But it's still like.
I mean, I think you'd need to know more about his life in general at that point, because like
it's one of the instances where I don't think it's overkill what they're doing. Like
what
the reaction.
Mean? Oh fuck!
There are a lot of times where it's like people will just jump on, like James Gunn, where people just overreact grossly to something. Yeah. This is one of the times where I think it was just, but like I also think if his career is ruined, that might be a little overkill. But like if everyone kind of says, hey Liam, like stay away for a little bit, that's understandable.
Yeah, I mean you a millionaire, just like go like take a vacation or some shit. Or just go do some indie movie. Yeah. Low key.
I saw somebody say Taken was like the first franchise he had ever been a part of, and I was like
Star Wars?
Yeah, Star Wars. Like
what
he's
else?
Basically
what
the
was
main
he
character.
In before that? I mean, I know he was in shit, but like just for me personally, that's like
I can't name anything.
Whenever I saw Taken, I didn't know he was Qui-Gon for quite a while.
I didn't either, and I don't know why. I just like didn't connect it for whatever.
He's got long hair and a beard.
Yeah. But really, he is the main character of episode 1. Like, I don't care what people say. They're like, Anakin's the main...
No, I like the videos that just talk about how much of like a deceptive, terrible person Qui-Gon is. Like, it's pretty funny. Like, or at least in the movie.
Like, how so?
Like, he does a Jedi mind trick, or tries to do a Jedi mind trick on Watto.
To steal all his shit.
Yeah, and then he puts Anakin in that race, or I don't fucking know. Maybe I'm wrong, but there's like I've seen different people that, you know, it's just kind of like shitting on episode 1, and they talk about like red letter media.
Yeah, they definitely do allude to the fact that, like, because Obi-Wan's like, you know, if you would just like not be a dick, like, you'd be on the council, and he's like, that is not my way, Obi-Wan. Like,
he's like, fuck you.
Like, I guess he's definitely like considered like a gray Jedi a bit.
I guess.
But
he is old. He got some gray hair.
But no, like, the fact that somebody said like, "Oh, Taken's his first franchise," it's like, no, it's not. Like,
how many Taken movies did they make?
3. Although apparently Cold Pursuit is basically just another Taken. I
mean, yeah, that's like, and then he has 2. One where he's on a train, one where he's on a plane. And he's like a guy.
And automobiles.
Yeah, there's gonna be one where he's on a bus and someone's got a fucking bomb.
Yeah.
And he's just like, give me the fucking bomb.
Yeah.
And they're like, it's too late.
Call it the Planes, Trains, and Automobiles trilogy.
And then get sued.
Are those commercials still on?
What?
They're like, the wonderful world of planes, trains, and automobiles. And
it's like selling magazines.
It's like a DVD set, and it's just planes, trains, and automobiles.
I mean, I remember that from when I was young. They may still be up there, but like I've said many times, I don't like TV. I just don't watch TV.
Yeah.
So like, but I do remember. You telling me about the one time that you watched an infomercial for like 45 minutes and you were like, holy shit, this fucking commercial is taking forever.
It was like Spike TV, and it was like an episode of 1,000 Ways to Die had just ended. And
how late was it?
It was like probably 1 a.m.
Oh yeah,
yeah, I'm just sitting there, and like this commercial, there were other commercials before it too, so it was like a few commercials, and then this infomercial comes on, and I'm just like, after about like 2 minutes, I'm like, God fucking damn. Like,
2 minutes?
Yeah. Well, at first I watched this
I thought it was a little bit longer.
I watched this for a very long time, but after 2 minutes, I was like, man, this is a long commercial. Like, I kept watching it, waiting for it to end, and like, I'm just sitting there like, when is this gonna be? Oh, because they just kept saying this infomercials. They just say the same thing over and over again. Like, I guess it's just in hope. I guess the hope of it is you will flip to Spike TV because you're like, I wonder what's on Spike TV. And you go to the infomercial and you just keep watching it, waiting for something to come on, and then you just check the guide and you're like, oh shit.
Well, it's probably
so they just loop like the same commercial basically every 3 minutes for like an hour.
I guess so. Well, like, I mean, they're not doing it for ratings because, like, I didn't know how the rating system worked until you told me the other day.
Oh, yeah.
That y'all have, like, the Nielsen recorder or whatever.
Nielsen sent a representative to my mom's house, and they were just like, hey, if you wear these, like, recorder box things, we will pay you, like, it's like $50. I get $50 a month because I'm like the best demographic, 18 to 24.
Mm-hmm.
My brother gets like
what's hip.
Yeah, my brother gets 20 because he's under 18, and my parents get 30. But and then you get like these special bonuses, and they'll enter you into these lottery contests if you hit a certain amount of points, which it's every 10 minutes that you wear it, you get 6 points. Or you get 1 point, so you get 6 points in an hour.
So it's like a little microphone that you wear.
It's like a tracker. It senses like satellite and radio waves, and I think it can even tell what like you're streaming.
Okay.
And basically, you count for like not an entire city, but like entire neighborhoods.
That's so stupid. They're not getting accurate information at all.
Well, yeah, because here's the thing. Well, when you have like. So you probably got like a few thousand of these in the state of Texas.
Still.
And I'm representative of probably like 10,000 people. Well, our family combined is probably representative of like 10,000 people.
That's just, I know it's like, it correlates throughout the entire country, but it's like those numbers are not correct. Not even close.
Yeah. But also, like, if I like
and that's what they base like, they will cut shows because it's like, the ratings are bad. The
Nielsen ratings are bad, yeah.
It's like...
So, if, like, I like a TV show, I just wear my, like, little monitor while I'm watching that TV show and it boosts the ratings.
Yeah.
So, like, just for everyone else that doesn't know that, if you don't have one of those trackers and you're like, I gotta watch my favorite show so it doesn't get canceled, that doesn't do anything. Like, the viewership numbers are not based off of you. Like,
yeah, you fucking idiot.
So no matter how many times you watch it, it is my views that count.
Yeah, you dumb head.
Yeah, hit me up if you try to get your show not canceled.
Yeah, the actors should do that. Just look up who has the Nielsen and be like, yo, can you just watch my, like, one episode,
I want to find...
Just set the mic near your TV while you're watching it. And you can go do some other shit. But just
if you leave it still for more than 30 minutes, it turns off.
What in the hell?
You have to make sure that the person is actually wearing it.
Yeah.
Because it's like...
Put it on your dog.
Actually, people do that. But my dog would, like, probably tear it up.
Eat it.
Because he's insane. But I'm trying to find, like, an online, like, Reddit, a subreddit called, like, Nielsen Families or something like that. And just, like, get together and we just, like, we're the Illuminati. We decide, like, what shows will fail. Like,
damn,
we're not going to watch any, like, this show because this show's trash. Like, we're just make some random tiny show. Just get, like...
Just watch nothing
2 million views. Like, fucking...
Just watch nothing but the Food Network.
Yeah,
I fuck with the Food Network. They got some good shit.
I don't know.
Guy Fieri, like, I've always enjoyed him.
Okay.
As a person, like, a lot of people don't like it. They're like, oh, he's a douche. And it's like, no, he's actually, like, a really fucking nice dude. He's one of the
most charitable, like, celebrities there is. Like, there's, like, pictures of him, like, grilling burgers and shit like that for survivors of the California fires. I guess in Africa, too. I don't know about that for sure. But
grilling burgers.
I know that
I just said that. I don't know if that's true. I just kind of...
But, no, he straight up spent, like, an entire day, like, sunrise to sunset, like, grilling burgers for, like, refugees during the California wildfires.
Yeah, that's a bad motherfucker. Like, and, like, I've watched... There has to be, like, 700 episodes of Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. Yeah. And I swear to God, I've seen about at least a couple hundred of them, and I've never seen a repeat. Like, he literally... That's, like...
That's my dream job. Just, like, go around the country, go to these bomb-ass restaurants. Well, he's been to T-Bone Tom's.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a restaurant right down the street from us, if you don't know.
I'm on that episode.
Shut up.
Yeah, no, I promise. He came up to me and he said, what do you think of the food? And I was like, oh, yeah, it's so good, guy. Like, this food's bomb, bro. And he was like, damn, thanks, Trey. You're super cool. And I was like, no problem, guy.
Follow me on Instagram.
And then I said, rock on. And he was like...
And then he offered you his job and you declined because you're a nice person. Right?
So yeah, you need it, bro. I'm chilling. I got my podcast.
But no, like I love going to T-Bone Tom's and like they have the things on the menu that the things that were featured on the show are like specially marked on the menu with like a triple D.
Interesting.
So like
this was on the show 6 years ago.
But the stuff that's on the show is the best stuff.
Okay.
So that's like I get that a lot. If it was like on the show, I get that.
His personality seems like he's a very cool dude. Like from everything I've seen.
I feel like he plays it up for the camera too.
I mean, everybody does. Like any type of person you see on like any type of show, they are putting on a character in some way. But it's like I just really hope that if I was to meet him in the middle of the street and I was like, yo, guy, like, you're a fucking legend, bro. Like, I hope he'd be like, bro, flame on. And I'd be like, whoa, rock on, blah.
There's like a list of people that I want to meet in my life, and 2 of them are Guy Fieri.
Two of them are Guy Fieri?
I wasn't done. Guy Fieri and Papa John.
I'd like to meet Pop. I want to have like a CNN style super intimate interview and ask him why he said the N-word. Said Papa John.
He said he felt pressured to say the N-word. Just Fucking gun to your head. Say the N-word in this conference call, Papa John.
Oh, Papa John said the N-word.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite memes of that year. People were tweeting that. They would just be like, just in random context, be like, but Papa John said the N-word.
Like,
it's like,
oh, Jesus.
Why'd you do it, Papa? Why'd you do it?
Now we don't get those Papa John's commercials with Peyton Manning and J.J. Watt.
The one where you like awkwardly walk into Papa John's house and he's got a fountain in the main like walk-in area.
Yeah.
And he's just like, or you've seen the one where he's like on the computer with his son?
Yes.
Oh shit. That was on some H3 shit. That's where I saw it, but
it's that easy.
God, Papa, what a fallen king.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Dude,
how'd you do it?
Papa John. Papa John, can you come on the podcast?
I wanna get Guy Fieri on the podcast. Talk about some killer pineapple skewers. He's like, y'all ever tried jalapeno shrimp poppers? You're like, no, I haven't, Guy. And he's like, well, I brought some with me. Rock on, flame on. Blah.
Yeah, that's my dream guest right there. If we could have anybody on the podcast.
Anybody?
Yeah.
I think I might want Tommy Wiseau. There's a Beetlejuice.
I feel like Beetlejuice.
I'd love to talk.
I would too.
He's the number one person I would just like to meet and take a picture with.
Yeah.
But it's like, I mean, I'd have him on the podcast too, but like,
oh yeah,
just to like take a picture with, it's like I would have to go with, and I'd want to be wearing like only fishing gear, like some waders with a fucking Columbia shirt.
Oh god.
And one of those fishing hats.
Meeting.
And then like I'm posing, like the mic can't tell, but like I'm posing right now how I would pose with Beetlejuice.
Yeah, he's got like the rock on hands.
Yeah.
With the horns and the thumb out.
And I got my eyes closed.
Kind of like half closed.
Can you like take a picture and put it on the like video?
I mean, maybe, yeah.
Well, like
if y'all,
do it right
if y'all
now.
watch right now.
Yeah, bro. Got to do it right now so they can know what we're talking about.
Okay. No, if y'all watch the YouTube videos, I'll usually sneak some pictures of stuff that we're talking about into the YouTube videos. So I recommend if you're just gonna listen, you listen on iTunes or Spotify. But all right, got the picture. Maybe that can just be like your picture for the screen card.
Wait, take another. I wasn't
Take
satisfied.
another.
I wasn't
You're not
satisfied with that.
Damn, dude. I guess just being picky. All right.
That'll do.
Yeah.
That'll do.
We can put this as like the screen card for YouTube.
I got my Starbucks in the in the thing. But yeah, Blubberella was trash.
Yeah. Back to that. So the ending, if we want to make our way there.
What the fuck did it even end with?
It was so basically like the beginning of the end is like Blubberella and you never learn anybody's names.
Oh yeah, no, you
two
learn
people's
Blubberella
names.
and Vag.
That's it.
Everyone else is just
Slut Lana.
Oh, Slut Lana, yeah, I forgot.
She like turns into a vampire. Like
she pretty much, they introduced her. There's an entire title card for her, and then she pretty much gives some info. She tells the Nazis, that's how they knew where she was.
Yeah.
She tells the Nazis where Blubberella is, and then they, oh my gosh, what the fuck?
And then
they lock her up. And she just kind of turns into a vampire.
The main guy, the main like general that's already a vampire bites her.
I don't feel like I saw that.
They abuse women in this movie, by the way. Like,
wait, what do you mean?
He just like grabs her. And he's like, "There's one more thing I'd like to do to you," and he just like beats the shit out of her, and then bites her.
I mean, they're Nazis. Like, they were some bad dudes.
But I think he bites her at the end of that, and then she's just like in a cage, and she's a vampire, and the like weird doctor dudes just like throwing holy water on her and like doing experiments.
I'm pretty sure she bites him, but then he just doesn't.
Yeah, he doesn't turn into a vampire. She bites him, and then he just stabs her with the wooden stake, and she dies, and that's like the end of her character.
I don't ever think you see the doctor after that either. Or
no, you do. You do.
Okay.
But
God, we might have to go watch it again.
Nope.
To get all the details.
You could not pay me to watch that again.
That's not true.
You could not. Okay. You could not you right now could not offer me enough money to watch that again.
Okay, I'll agree to that.
Like,
because I'm not gonna give you any money. Yeah. So that makes sense.
I don't know what the number would be, but you would have to pay me like at least like $50 to watch that again.
Oh, that ain't shit.
Okay, but it's still $50. Like,
yeah,
$50 is $50.
Would you take a shit for $65 quadrillion?
Referencing memes that these people haven't seen, Trey.
They may have seen that.
I don't know.
They may have seen that. I don't know. I've seen it. I've seen it a couple times. I just never saw it as big as $65 quadrillion. It's a picture of a fucking toilet. It says, "Would you take a shit?" Oh my god.
Anyway, so Blubberella.
Memes are a large part of my life.
They are.
Like a
large
very, very large part of my life.
Blubberella, so yeah, no characters are ever fucking named. So her like love interest
is the resistance leader.
Yeah, who's also the same guy who plays the main character in Rampage.
Damn.
So anyways, they're like it looks like a horse-drawn carriage. Like from the inside, like the first time they like try to have sex, but every time
they're like, what the fuck were they in? Were they locked up? I think they were captured.
Yeah, but it looked like they were inside of like a horse-drawn carriage. Like
they're
they
still
were facing each
clothed.
other on these benches. Yeah,
they're still fully clothed.
They
and
try to have.
He just kind of like tries to get on her lap, and then they move a little bit, and then he says he nutted too quick. Yeah. And then it's like...
Which is a common thing he does, just like every time they try to...
Oh, the vampire Nazi who's like the main villain, literally the final... How he gets beaten in the movie is Blubberella and Vag are standing somewhere in the snow.
It's like outside of like an abandoned looking...
building.
Like, it looks like a parking garage, honestly.
It just looks like some abandoned building out in European fucking snow. And the Nazi just kind of walks out. He shoots Vag, or you think he shoots Vag, and then...
I called every part of that scene.
Oh, yeah, no, you were like, she hasn't sat on anybody.
Yeah,
and I was like...
I'm waiting for her to sit... Because that's like the ultimate fat person trope, is like, you sit on somebody and they die, right?
Yeah,
or like they're very injured.
She pretty much takes the Nazi, sits on his face and farts, and then...
That kills him.
Yeah, he's dead. And then Vag gets up and he's like, oh, yeah, I just acted like I got shot because I didn't want to fight. Which is in his character. Yeah. So, that's some good writing right there. Oh, and then...
Consistency.
And then her boyfriend kind of walks up out of nowhere after all of that. And he's like, wow, I was looking all over for you. And then they, like, hug again. And it's like...
she picks him up.
Yeah. And then... he nuts too quick again.
Yeah, they try to do that. And then...
But they're fully clothed. Like, this movie's so confusing. It's so bad. Not nearly on the level of Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. Yeah.
That's a weird thing to compare to. Yes.
Any episode of Diners, Diners,
Diners, Drive-Ins,
Triple D.
Dives.
Any episode of Triple D is superior to this.
Yeah.
Or
is that how we should just rate all movies?
Guys' Kitchen Games.
Is that how we should rate all movies from now? Just like
on the Triple D scale?
Yeah, compare it to like, would we rather watch that or an episode of like Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives?
We could do that. And I'd much rather watch an episode of Triple D.
Yeah. Or Guys' Grocery Games.
That's what it's called.
They're in a grocery store and it's like, you have $25 and you have to make like this dish from things, or this type of dish from things you find in this grocery store. And you have like an hour to do it.
He says, you need to make a rockin' hot dog in 35 seconds. Rock on, blah. And then they go get their shit and try to make a hot dog.
It starts off with like 10 contestants and it like slowly just goes
He's
down
like,
to one.
You have to kill a real pig.
Oh my god, could you imagine just like
doing the whole process?
A cooking show where it's just like, alright, You have 2 hours. That pig is still alive. I want you to cook it. Like,
no, there was one guy that like made an entire sandwich by himself. Like he grew the wheat, got the wheat, put it all together, and he said it tasted like ass.
Yeah.
And it's like,
and it cost him like $10,000
just to like plant all that shit.
Mm-hmm. But he like had to travel to like a specific part of the ocean, and he like boiled his own salt out of the salt water there.
Damn, I forgot all the details. All I really remember, like, I just kind of heard about it, and then I heard like the wheat part, and I was like, oh, okay. So he like cooked.
That would be like
grew some tomatoes.
But it was like literally like every spice, every ingredient he grew himself.
And he said it tasted like booty hole.
Yeah, he said it was really bad. Which, imagine just like...
Damn, ain't no preservatives or none of that fucking other shit they put in our food. It makes it taste good. People be talking about, they're like, oh, the shit they put in our food. It's like, organic. Bruh, it tastes good.
Like, I'm gonna go to McDonald's and get me a McChicken. Like...
McGangbang.
I've always wanted to... I've never tried that.
It's good. I had it a very long time ago.
Did you actually ask for it, though?
I don't remember. I just remember I went with, I think it was my friend Harley, but I don't know.
Harley, the chick from...
No, redhead dude.
Okay, the
he
Harley...
was lactose intolerant.
The only Harley I know is this redhead chick that we went to Victory Lakes with.
It wasn't her. I didn't even know her at this point. But, yeah. McGangbang. I mean, I remember it being good, like, but not good for you. It's kind of like, obviously.
I mean, I don't know if kind of sounds gross.
It is gross. Like, McDonald's is gross, but shit, I had to do it at least once. I had to eat one McGangbang.
YOLO.
And if you don't know what a McGangbang is, we're not going to tell you.
Yeah, Google
it. If you don't know about that already, you ain't a real one.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, wait. Okay, I saw Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, and I thought...
You thought Uwe Boll directed that?
No, I don't know why, but I thought of like a porn parody where it's like Harry Pooper and the...
Yeah, I'm on David O'Hara.
Wait, there's one that's called like Harry Pooper and the Sorcerer's Balls or something like that. Porn names are fucking amazing.
I know a lot of them because Filthy Frank did that one like rap. He like rapped weird porn titles.
Damn, that sounds fire.
It's something else. I don't want to name some of the things from that. But
you don't have to.
Yeah, it's not okay.
Damn. Like, shit could be okay, but that just wasn't.
Yeah.
So I guess we're just done talking about Blubberella.
Yeah.
Like, I've said all I want to say. If you really... If anything we've said makes you curious and you're curious enough to watch it...
You still shouldn't.
You shouldn't... Oh, I have a question. I wrote down a question while watching it. Who would you legitimately suggest this movie to? Like, that you think would actually...
So I can't just say nobody?
Yeah, no. You gotta name at least... Maybe not, like, by name, but a type of person that would enjoy this. Like, someone with brain damage, maybe?
I mean, my honest response is... like a very like slow fourth grader.
Oh gosh, yeah. Well, I think kids would definitely get more, but it's also too inappropriate for kids.
There are a lot of bad references. It's just like, I don't know, like.
And there's titties.
Yeah, there are. There's
like 6 boobs in this movie.
Really? Wait.
6 individual boobs. I think you see 3 strippers with their titties out.
Okay. Anyway.
So 2 titties per stripper. If there's 3 strippers, there's 6 titties.
Okay, sorry.
It's simple math, okay?
I don't know. Some strippers have more than 2 titties.
Like the one off that one Arnold Schwarzenegger movie where he goes on Mars?
Yeah. Sure. I haven't seen that movie, but you never know.
God, Total Recall. We need to watch that. Let's watch some Arnold movies. I fucking love Arnold.
But No, there's not really an audience. Like I said, I think a third or fourth grader would find this funny, but at the same time, it's a little inappropriate for them. Like,
yeah,
like genocide jokes and like.
I guess it's just for people that have terrible taste.
Yeah, because it's not even, like I said earlier, it's not one of those movies that's like so good it's bad.
Oh
like,
yeah,
that's
not. You mean so bad it's good?
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah.
No,
so bad it's good. Like it's not a Troll 2. It's not a.
It's just
not The Room.
Terrible. Yeah. Just so bad it's awful.
Mm-hmm.
Like. So yeah, those are my like closing thoughts. Like if you want to watch it, it's on YouTube. Just look up Blubberella.
I would strongly suggest that you don't, but if that's something you want to do to yourself.
Yeah, no, hey, it's a free country. You can torture yourself if you want.
I was about to say, waterboard yourself,
cock and ball torture.
Alright.
Okay,
anyway.
So I guess let's talk about your fucked up foot.
Yeah, no, so this past Friday, Thursday, I had like the worst 2-day stretch I've had at my job yet.
Mm-hmm.
Like Wednesday,
Wait, so you clean pools?
Yeah.
In case we haven't mentioned that.
I think we've mentioned it before, but I mean...
Just to reiterate.
Yeah, to reiterate, I clean pools. It ain't much, but it's honest work. But, I mean, I somewhat enjoy the job. Like, it's not bad. It's very solitary. I can be, like, alone with my thoughts, which sometimes I wish I had somebody to talk to, but at the same time, like...
It gets a lot of time. You can listen to podcasts.
Yeah, man. But no, so I clean pools and I have like my own truck that I drive around. So Wednesday, it's like the first like 10 minutes I'm driving down I-45 to get to one of my houses.
Mm-hmm.
And the truck just like stops working in the middle of fucking I-45.
Yeah. So like when you say stops working, does it just...
It like kind of stalled, but it could still go like 20 miles an hour.
Okay. So you just pulled over or something?
Yeah, I managed to pull into a parking lot of like a huge church.
Okay.
And I call up my boss and he's like, and he comes over and he's like, well, it still drives. And I'm like, it drives at like 15 to 20 miles an hour. And he's like, it's good enough.
You gotta go clean that pool, boy.
Yeah. So I have to spend all this time just slowly driving. Like, and it was because the motor was overheated.
Is the truck fixed now?
It's fixed now.
Okay.
But the entire time it was just like everyone was honking at me. I got so many middle fingers. Like
they gotta know. Did you put your flashers on?
Yeah, I have my what are those called?
I mean, hopefully
emergency
they
lights
know
on, hazards.
Something's fucking wrong with the truck. Like you're not.
But still, like they were like, "Why are you driving?" Like I had people yell at me. I got the middle finger. Like so, I just eventually like kind of made a game out of it. I was like, "Are they gonna give me the finger?" Like.
Damn,
and sometimes I'd be stuck in like a 1-lane road that was like a 50 and I'm sitting here going like max 20 miles an hour.
I can understand how you'd be pissed, but like also like something's wrong with the truck, clearly.
Yeah. But so my boss, he was like, and I don't blame him because there are only 2 drivers and we have to cover like a combined 100 pools. So like, we gotta crank these out.
Yeah.
So I'm not mad at my boss. I was just mad at the situation.
Yeah.
And so... like it was just awful. Like what would have taken me, like it would have only, that day for me is usually like 6 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Took me 9.5 hours that day.
Do you get paid hourly or is it salary?
I get paid hourly.
Well, then you got paid a little bit more.
Yeah. So, but at the same time, like I don't need money right now.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, extra money's nice, but also so is extra time. Time is the commodity I'd rather have right now, if that makes sense. So that day was just awful for that reason. Then the next day, every piece of my equipment just malfunctions.
Fuck.
Like constantly. And he was like, oh, hey, like, I know you don't want as many pools, but I added a pool to your schedule. And that pool was like an absolute disaster.
Damn.
So, and it like shredded up my like vacuum bag. So I have to get a new one. So that was like constantly like leaking stuff. And finally, it's legitimately, like, that's another day I usually get out at, like, 3. It's 6:30 and I'm still in this dude's backyard, the last dude's backyard, cleaning his pool. Finally finish up. I'm, like, yes, my day is over. Like, don't have to deal with this anymore. And then, so y'all know what I'm talking about. Like, for pool cleaning, we have these big old vacuums that we put at the bottom of the pool, and it attaches on like this cart to the hitch on your truck. And it has like a big old battery in it, and the battery alone probably weighs 50 pounds.
Damn.
And so this thing's heavy as crap, and I pull it off of the edge, off of like a little ledge, like a deck that this guy has.
Yeah.
And it lands directly on my big toe. And this guy was also lived on a golf course, so I like scream out a not so friendly word while this guy's like trying to do a swing, and they screamed a not so friendly word back at me.
Damn.
Yeah.
Said cock and balls.
But no, so I am in a lot of pain because I just had probably 100 to 200 pounds fall directly onto my big toe.
Of just like metal and shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
So I'm just like, fuck it. Like I've got to like deal with this right now. And so I'm like limping. I put the cart back up. I drive the truck, and the whole time I'm driving the truck, I'm like, fuck, ow, ow, ow.
Yeah.
Like,
And it's your left foot.
It's my left big toe.
Okay.
And so, at the time it hurt so bad I thought it was broken.
Yeah.
And
I don't know how it isn't. Like,
yeah, honestly, I'm very surprised it wasn't broken. Even they were like, with how much that weighed, that probably should have broken it.
Yeah.
So I finally go put my truck up, and I call up my dad. I'm like, hey, you think a broken toe is worth a trip to the ER? And he was like, yeah, probably. And because there's not much they can do about a broken toe.
Yeah, just put a little splint on it or some shit.
So I go in, and I still haven't like seen like what my toe looks like.
Yeah.
Like it's been under a shoe and a sock. And finally...
was getting the sock off hard?
It was pretty pain. I was just in so much pain that like it didn't matter what I did.
Yeah.
But like when I'm in pain, I just kind of play it off as like, haha, like I am in pain. And so I take my shoe off, and then I take my sock off. The nurse is standing right next to me, and I just see my sock is like kind of soaked in blood.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit, there's blood. Like, and the nurse kind of like, she's not like, she's a nurse at an ER. She's seen shit.
Yeah, yeah.
But she's kind of like looking at me like, you serious right now? I'm like, there's blood. I didn't know there was blood. And then I like...
Wait, you like said that out loud?
Yeah, I said that out loud. And I pulled the sock off, and my entire toenail is just like like backwards. Like,
toenail and fingernail injuries make me cringe.
I don't fuck with that. And so I saw that, I was like, oh my god. Like,
yeah.
Because I could tell the toenail was broken. I just didn't know the extent of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was in the ER for about 4 hours. Not because my injury was bad, just due to like bureaucratic incompetence.
How long that shit takes.
So they took x-rays, and they come in like... I watched the entirety of the Ice Age movie about dinosaurs after I got
Continental
my x-ray.
Drift?
No, Age of the Dinosaur, Dawn of the Dinosaurs.
Shit.
It's a very bad movie.
Yeah, I'm not very well versed in the Ice Age.
I had seen like the
mythology.
first one maybe.
Yeah, as a kid.
Yeah. So I watched that one, that entire movie, and the whole time I was like, are they ever gonna like come in like do something? And finally the doctor comes in, and he's like, it's not broken, but I am gonna have to like remove your entire fucking toenail, which is what they said at first. And then finally, after looking at it, he was like, okay, I don't have to remove the whole thing, just most of it.
Okay.
And so he puts these shots into my toe
to like numb it.
It felt like he was putting it into my... I just spit a little bit. Felt like he was putting it into my bone. Like, it wasn't painful necessarily, but the pressure, like, I thought my toe was gonna explode.
Fuck.
Like, I was
How long was the needle in there?
It was pretty... Like I said, it was touching my bone.
What in the hell?
Yeah. And so I was like, oh, fuck, like, ow.
Yeah.
And I thought my toe was going to explode. Finally, he stops, and he, like, leaves the room. He's like, oh, yeah, your toe should be numb soon enough. Comes back in, and he's got, like, this entire bag, like, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like, is this gonna be like that bad?
Mm-hmm.
And he comes in and he's like, oh no, it won't be bad. And he just like holds down my toe, like he's grabbing my toe, and he's just like cutting deep down, and I can't feel shit.
Oh, that's good.
I'm bleeding everywhere. Like I thought, like he had this solution that he used to clean it off, and I was like, is it red? And he was like, no, that's blood. Like
I think I would just blindfold myself. Like I would just put my hands over my eyes.
But
and just be like,
my toe was numb, so it almost didn't even feel like it was happening to me. Like it looked like I was just watching it happen to somebody else.
I wouldn't want to watch like that. Oh God, I haven't had a lot of medical shit happen to me in my life.
Yeah.
So like, I think about stuff like that, and it's just like if I was to get in a car accident and I survive, but like my arm is cut off, it's like, what the fuck is your brain doing in that situation? Like you're just looking at your stump and you're like, damn.
Well, a lot of them feel like phantom pains where their arm used to be.
Really?
Like their brain will send them signals like, oh, you should have an arm there. That hurts. And it's just like this nothingness, but they can feel it where their arm would have been.
That shit is trippy.
Yeah. I've actually been in a very major car accident.
Yeah, no, I know.
70 miles an hour hit. Well, okay, they pulled out in front of me.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Anyways, yeah. And that was scary. Like...
Car accident?
Yeah, because like everything, I guess I blacked out from adrenaline, but like everything went black for like I don't know how long, and I was like, am I fucking dead? Like that was one of the thoughts that went through my head for a little bit. I'm like, am I dead?
Yeah.
And then like I kind of came
it just
to...
kind of
yeah.
faded back in.
And the guy I was sitting next to...
The worst thing, and I've never really been in a car accident, but like I've had a very bad car accident happen directly beside me, and the noise is...
I still have hearing loss from it.
It's like...
It's so loud. Like
it's just terrible. Like it's the worst shit I've ever heard.
The only thing I could like perceive while I was blacked out was how loud it was.
Yeah.
Like it's the loudest.
Were you hearing all the noise while you were blacked out, or
kind of? Like I said, I think it was just literally just straight adrenaline coursed through me so much that like it like overloaded my brain and I passed out.
It's probably your brain knows you're going through fucked up shit, so it's like it's better if you're just unconscious for this.
Yeah. So, but like it was, I heard it. It was very loud, and then I look over and the dude that was my passenger, he goes to Klein Oaks, name's Luke. He's actually a pretty cool guy. Like I thought he was dead because he was still out when I was like up. And the fucking guilt that you feel.
Oh God.
Because like the last conversation that I had that wasn't with him was with his mom. Before I picked him up, and I was like, everything's gonna be fine. Like I'm not gonna get into a crash. And then I look over and I see him like slumped over, and I'm like, holy fucking shit. Like not only like did I think he might have been like very seriously injured. It's like, I'm not.
Yeah.
So that shit was scary. And then
you would have had to... Oh. Yeah. But hey, at least he wasn't dead.
Yeah, and the lady I hit, the miracle of it is that I was going 70 when I hit her. And that is not something that people walk away from unscathed. Yeah. But my passenger didn't even go to the hospital.
That's good.
I went to the hospital because I had busted up ribs, but they were only bruised, not broken. Mm-hmm. And the lady that I was with, she went to the hospital too, but it was for like a cut on her neck from the glass.
The lady that you hit?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the extent of the injuries from a 70 mile an hour impact.
Damn.
I know somebody that was in a 70 mile an hour impact, and they like have burns on like 30% of their body or something like that. Fuck.
Yeah, that shit is crazy. Like, I'd be driving every day, and it's like, I have a machine, like, I'm pretty much driving a 2,000 pound
killing machine.
Yeah, that has gas, many explosions happening in it constantly. It's like, this shit is fucking wild.
Yeah, no, I think about that a lot. Like, I'll just be driving down the road, and I'm like, if somebody on the opposite side of the road were to swerve into me right now, like, that shit would be fatal.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, maybe if you survived that, like...
Yeah, but that was also, like, that is on wheels, so there was some give, and they were they were stopped, but they were, like, in the same direction, you know?
Yeah.
If two things heading at each other at 50 miles an hour, one's not going to give that much. Like, there's not going to be as much.
One's going to take more impact.
Yeah. There's not going to be as much give. And I drove a truck back then. I drive a Honda Civic now.
Yeah.
So I would not be the one. It's like a hammer and a nail. I would be the nail, not the hammer.
Well, I'm guessing, what was the other lady driving?
It was like a Jeep.
Okay.
But
damn Jeep drivers, man. I don't trust Jeeps.
I had like a modified work truck. So it was like modified to be a lot heavier than it would have been because it was supposed to tow a lot and stuff.
Yeah.
I also had construction lights, which I was not supposed to have.
Man, don't incriminate yourself. You didn't have nothing.
But yeah.
No, what terrifies me about Jeeps is like people be driving around with like their kids hanging out of the side, no door. And Jeeps are the most dangerous vehicles like you can drive. Like
because they can tip over.
They're the most flippable.
Tall.
What they're made out of, like they're just terrible vehicles. Like they're cool. Like I like the aesthetic
of having
of a Jeep, but it's like, especially people that just let their kids like hang in there with no doors, no roof, no anything. It's like
you take the doors off and you have like these footrests that you can put in that thing where the door was.
And like I've had close calls and like a lot of them were with Jeeps. Like people, I don't know. I don't want to. Hey, we got super serious. We went from talking about a half vampire fat bitch fighting Nazis to car accidents.
Yeah, like that was like a very near death experience. I still have like a lot of like PTSD from that. Yeah. Like if I hear a loud noise when I'm in a car, I flip the fuck out.
Yeah.
Like, I remember one time I was spending the night at your house, and it was probably like a month after the crash.
Yeah.
And I was just like trying to fall asleep, and I just had this. It's kind of funny, but it's also not. Yeah. I had a bag of oranges in my hand because it was like orange picking season.
And in the dream.
Yeah, in the dream. Okay. And I'm like I'm like spinning it around in my hand, like the momentum keeps them from falling out, like that kind of thing. Yeah. And the bottom just gives out, and all the oranges hit the wall. But instead of the sound you would hear when an orange hit the wall,
car crash
it was
noise?
the sound that I heard in my car crash, and I like woke up in cold sweat and didn't go back to sleep.
Damn. Yeah, no, people underestimate PTSD. Like, obviously there's levels of it. So like people that have been in war, it's like they have a very severe version, but it's like there have been things that have happened to me where it's like it was very, very slight. Like, and I could just tell, I was like, I identified it. Like I watched a video of like how to identify if you have PTSD, and it was like I had a very, very slight version of that.
And actually one of my second cousin is a former Marine with like Purple Hearts and stuff like that. Yeah. And he was actually talking about it because he's dealt with PTSD. Yeah. Luckily it didn't like alter his life. Like he's doing great. Yeah. But he was talking about how they're kind of, a lot of people are rallying to just get the the disorder part dropped off, and just call it post-traumatic stress. Because anybody can have that. Like,
well, I mean, a disorder, in my mind, you say disorder, and it is like a disorder of the mind. If you have a mind that is in order, it's like you're like chilling, But it's like if there's a disorder in your mind, I guess disorder does make it seem like it's like you're a victim, and maybe they don't want that associated.
But I think the biggest thing is that it's not necessarily something. It's not like this. It's not a disease. Yeah. It's just something that happens, and it happens to a lot of people on even like very minimal levels.
Like you can just like, if you were to walk in on one of your family members like dead on the ground, like you can get PTSD. Obviously. Yeah. But it's like people only associate PTSD with war and shit like that, and it's like no,
war, like, and like
if you just see something super fucked up or abuse, like. If something happens, I don't know. I just think just the association.
There is a bit of like a stigma about it,
Yeah, and they also think people that have PTSD are like violent or something like that.
Especially, and there have been cases of like induced violence, but
no, I'm not saying. It's just like people think it's like only that. Yeah, and it's like no, shit's a lot more wide ranging.
Yeah.
which
just levels.
But I'm also not any type of expert, so I'm just going from what I have heard.
Okay, let's get away from the darkness again.
Yeah.
We were like, let's get away from the darkness, and then just dove straight into PTSD.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, the thing is, like, people can be helped, so.
Yeah, for sure. But,
So, yeah, I think we should just start... wrapping it up. Okay. So, yeah, Blubberella, watch it. I'd suggest watching it.
I wouldn't. I mean...
50-50.
I feel like I've made that very clear, like... This is not a watchable movie.
I think it's watchable if, like I said, if you're interested, if you have like a morbid interest in anything we've said, you kind of like watching shitty movies. But this is a super shitty one.
It's a very shitty movie, but like I said, I was in physical pain watching this movie. Like, it wasn't...
You could feel a migraine growing.
Yeah, like I was, like my head hurt. Like multiple times I like... kind of stopped watching necessarily, and I just like lay back and I'd be like,
yeah, no, I saw there was a couple times where you just laid down on your back and I just heard a big sigh. I was like,
I had to like look away. We should like,
I had to like rub my eyes a little bit. I was like, oh,
we need to like mic ourselves up while we're watching.
I was thinking about it, but
like, just
we can do that with the next shitty movie we watch.
The pure amount of stress that I was going through watching that movie.
The PTSD. You're about to have PTSD from.
I'm gonna like see.
Blubberella.
I'm gonna see like a Melissa McCarthy movie being advertised on TV.
Just, no,
not again.
All right, well,
I can't handle this again.
I think that's a good place to end.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. All right, well, this has been the 6th episode.
Yeah, no.
Shout out Starbucks.
Shout out Starbucks.
That's all I have to say.
I mean, we have our actual coffee-based sponsor.
Yes, actually, shout out Revital U.
Yeah.
Fuck Starbucks.
Yeah, if you're trying to, like, actually, like, support this show.
I'm not joking. This coffee that I just drank did not make me feel as alert as Revital U did whenever I took it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I got a Chaka Fracca Latte Movado. I got a
white chocolate.
I think it's called a Great White Mocha. It says GR White Mocha. So
Grande.
Great. Oh, Grande.
Grande.
I'm gonna say Great White Mocha.
Great White Mocha.
That sounds
but no. Yeah, no. Like if you're actually looking to support the show, if you buy this Revital U coffee, even just free sample it, it helps us out.
Or just like send me money through Apple Pay.
Yeah.
Like, hit me up.
Yeah, just be like, hey, thank you for making my favorite podcast in the world.
Do you think we're anybody's favorite podcast?
I don't know. Kanishk. Shout out Kanishk again. Kanishk loves us. He been like... We're
gonna have him on at some point. Yeah.
Like, I'm down to have, like, all kinds of special guests, you know?
Yeah, also, I have a little... There's a convention we're going to.
Not to get into any spoilers, but...
Yeah, it's interesting. We're going to see what happens. I want to go get like a GoPro or some type of camera and actually take some footage.
Yeah, no, I'd definitely be down for that.
And I want to also bring like a recorder or some shit and like interview some people there because there's going to be some interesting characters.
Oh, yeah. No, there are...
We need to just start going to like public events like cons and stuff like that.
I feel like...
I want to go to like a reptile, like people that just bring a bunch of snakes and turtles and stuff.
Yeah.
And just talk to a bunch of snake experts. We said we were going to be ending this, but we just kept going.
Dude, I'm fine with it. Like, you know.
I do have to go at some point.
At some point. That is now that point?
I guess so.
Oh.
I guess so.
Okay.
Reptile podcast coming soon, but I don't know. The next one, or whenever we go
2 weeks from now.
Is it? Yeah.
It's sometime April 12th and 13th.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we'll record the podcast as soon as we're done being there.
Yeah. If you follow me on Snap, I put it on my story. I was like, who's trying to go to this?
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be us and...
Grant wants to go.
So, yeah. No,
right.
It will be a very
interesting. Let's just say interesting.
Interesting.
And wilderness.
Wild.
Yeah, it's gonna be wild.
Crazy. Okay.
Okay. For real.
Yeah. Actual ending.
Ending. No.
Well, I was gonna say thank you for listening.
Oh yeah, thanks for listening.
Please continue to support us.
Nah, I'm gonna show contempt for our audience. Be like, if you listen, don't feel special.
Yeah,
we popping.
We're about to have thousands of viewers.
Yeah, you just an ant in the anthill.
You are just part of the analytics that I look at a little too much.
Okay, no, thank you. For real. If you're really listening and you're fucking with the podcast,
yeah. If you've listened to this past 10 minutes of us keep saying we're gonna end this, and
it hasn't been 10 minutes. It's been 4.
Okay, but if you're still listening at this point, you're a real one.
Yeah,
I love you.
Love you. Yeah, let's start saying we love our listeners. I love you.
I love all of you, in a not gay way.
Nah, I'm just on everything.
In a gay way.
All not just what's the opposite of asexual, or just love everything?
Pansexual.
Is that what that is?
That's when
you love you're attracted to everybody. It's
not attracted to everybody, but everything is on the table, if that makes sense.
When it comes to my viewers, I'm viewer sexual. I'm listener sexual.
Listener sexual?
Yeah.
All right.
Fuck with my listeners. Okay, no, for real.
So this conversation no longer is.
What?
It was.
It still currently is. Okay, we really gotta end this.
Okay.
Okay, transmission ending now. Love you. Bye.
Bye.